Hi guys. Just want to go over the information for your final essay for Mice and Men. So this is posted in Google Classroom, and just going to walk you through this so you can look at it at your own speed and go back. If you have any questions, you can look at this. So final due date is Sunday, 10/21/18 at 11:59. It's about 11 days from today. You'll lose 5 points for each day that it's late. All right, so it's your responsibility to raise your hand, send an email, or add a comment if you have any questions during this process. Step 1. You have to choose one of the following prompts. First prompt is on isolation and loneliness. So all of the characters seem to be isolated or lonely in some way, even though they are always near other people. Are loneliness and isolation caused by social barriers, by personal choice, or both? You have to use evidence from the book to explain John Steinbeck's attitude toward the beliefs about isolation and loneliness. The second topic you can choose is on hope, dreams, and the loss of hope. So many of the characters express their hopes and dreams and experiences. They experience a loss of hope. What are their dreams? Are these dreams possible to attain? What causes them to lose their hope? You have to use evidence from the book to explain John Steinbeck's attitude toward or the beliefs about hopes, dreams, and hopelessness. Okay? We'll talk more about that in a minute. Step 2. You have to decide what is Steinbeck's message about thematic idea. If you don't know what thematic ideas are, you can watch this video here. Just click on this link. It'll take you to this video, and while you're watching this video, a couple parts, while you're watching, you're going to have to answer questions about what the video is about right up in this area. So you'll have to answer those. You will not be able to skip anything. You'll have to answer, and we'll join Ed Puzzle to all this so you guys will be clear on that, okay? Back to the a list of thematic ideas. You can click on this link and it takes you to here. So here is an entire list of about 50 different thematic ideas that you can choose from. Once again, I narrowed it down to loneliness and isolation and dreams and loss of dreams and hope, loss of hope. So that's kind of what you can focus on. But if you want to focus on a different topic, let me know and we can work something out. So in step 2, you have to decide what is Steinbeck's attitude toward or his belief about the thematic idea. So what is he trying to say? What is his message to the reader? And what are we supposed to learn from reading this book? All right, so there's 2 examples here. Steinbeck believes that loneliness and isolation are caused by social barriers, not personal choice. So here, if you want to focus on someone like Crooks or Lenny, that would be a strong way to start that. And then the second example, Steinbeck believes that dreams are unattainable and will always lead to a loss of hope. So basically every character in the text besides the boss, who we don't really know, and Curly, who's the boss's son, do not have any power, have not reached their dreams, and they all talk about how wanting to get them. So you can focus on them as well. All right, page 2, step 3, decide how Steinbeck conveys his message. This will be the other half of your thesis statement here. So you can look at literary devices here. There is a link here as well to help you with this if you're unsure of all the literary devices that we have in the English language. You can scroll through here, look these, you can Google search things, but we have dialogue, foreshadowing, characterization, plot details, word choice, contrast, conflict between characters, symbolism. Those are some of the main ones, okay? So you can choose whichever one you want, but you must be able to support those ideas with evidence from the text. So this is what it's going to look like. Step 4. Write a thesis statement and get it approved by either me or Mrs. Bolova if you're in periods 1 or 7. All right. So your thesis statement is going to have 2 parts. The first part is a literary device. What literary device does Steinbeck use? And then you have to also add what is his attitude toward or his belief about that thematic idea. Okay. So you can write it here and here. If you have both of those, then it's acceptable. It's okay. So there's examples here once again. You have to rewrite this in this blue box right here. All right. This is due at the beginning of class on Friday, 10/12/18. So you should have this done during class on Thursday. If you can't think of your thematic statement during class today, you are going to have to do this for homework, and you will lose points if it is not due. We will be checking these in on Friday at the beginning of class. Okay. Step 5. You have to find evidence from the text to support your thesis statement. Okay. So you must have 4 pieces of evidence. I linked the PDF of the text here. This is online. It's free. I put a little hint. If you press Control and F, it will open this little box, and then you can search key things that you are looking at. So if you want to search the word lonely, the word lonely is used 3 times in the text here, and you can click these arrows and it tells you where it says lonely. You have to be a little more creative though. So if you search like Control F and go hopes, there's 9 times where it says hope or hopeless, so that can help you kind of find this. If you prefer to use the book, you can do that as well. But I think it's a little easier to use this PDF to help find the quotes. This is just like what we did in the practice a couple weeks ago in Chapter 4, where you were finding examples of loneliness about Curly's wife and Crooks. You can use those as well, so you already did a lot of this before. These are due Monday, 10/15/18 at the start of class. You should write them right here in the blue section as well. So add those right in here just like you did during the practice in class. Okay. You have all of Friday in class to work on this, and then the weekend if you need it. If you look at this part, how to correctly add in-text citations, there's another video I uploaded to Edpuzzle. If you look through this, it shows you how to do that, and we'll add some more and go over this next week when you get into that. But you can watch this video. Just the format for adding citations in MLA. Okay. Once again, this is due Monday, 10/15 at start of class. All right, step 6, you have to write your first draft. This is worth 20 points. The first draft is not a rough draft. This is the best you think you can do at that point. You have more time to work on your first draft than your final draft. Your final draft is basically just editing some things from comments and feedback you've gotten. There's another link here to show you the MLA for Purdue OWL Online Writing Lab called the OWL, and you can read through this. I'm going to add another link on here as well that shows you another quick video of how to do the heading, a much easier way, but you have to format your heading correctly. And I'll post this early next week before you start doing any of this stuff, so you guys will have all that as well. And you're going to write all of this in this blue box here, and if you keep typing, it'll just extend it and your page will look a little different. All right, and then your final step is step 7, proofread, revise if needed. Most everyone will have to do a little revision before your final draft, which was 50 points, and you will have your rubric. Your rubric is here. So I just wanted to go through the rubric very quickly. It's worth 50 points, and for your a project like this is worth like 30% of your overall grade. So this is like a bunch of tests put together. We're spending 7 days in class to work on this. Take it seriously. This is to show that you understand the book we read in class. It took over 3 hours of class time to read this, plus the video we watched, which took an hour and 20 minutes. and lots of assessments and conversations we had about this. So 3 of the 4 sections in this connect to the SAT college readiness that we've already learned in class. The other section is to MLA formatting, which you are going to get a lot more familiar with this year and next year and throughout high school and college. So if you follow this and have no errors, you will have a 50 out of 50. You will have 100% an A. If you do make errors related to the skills below, you will lose 1 point for each error made. So the first thing we're doing, topic development, that's worth 50% of this. It's 25 points. You should have a clear thesis statement, 2 steps, a clear main idea for each paragraph that you write, evidence to support that main idea, correctly citing the evidence, a link, which is in your own words, that connects your evidence back to the main idea, and a conclusion to each main idea. Sentence structure, that's worth 10 points. Right now, the only thing we really learned in class is we've talked about subject-verb agreement, so using your knowledge of helping verbs, prepositional phrases, make sure your subject and verb agree in number and in gender. And then word choice, we've talked about avoiding wordiness, being clear and specific. Do not repeat what you have already said, also known as redundancy. So don't try to sound smart or add more information. Just get it out across in the most basic way possible. That's what we're looking for. Finally, formatting is worth 5 points, and making sure you have proper MLA heading and title, and then your in-text citations, your evidence. This is the same information here. It's just broken down how it's graded, how many mistakes you can make. So basically, if you just look at the column on the very far right and look at that, that is the requirement right here in order to get a 50 out of 50. If you have no errors with in-text citations, if you have no errors in heading and title, if you have no wordiness and redundancy, if there are no errors in subject and verb agreement, if you have your conclusions, if you have your links, if you have your paragraphs, and if you have a main idea for each paragraph and a clear thesis statement, you will have an A, okay? Once again, any questions you have with anything, please, please, please raise your hand, send a comment, send an email, do something. Don't just sit there. We'll be looking at your progress throughout this the next 7 days to make sure that you are on task and working. If you're off task, we will address that, figure out what's going on, what you need to do to get back on track. And you know, the point of this is for you guys to be able to show what you have learned from reading the text, and that you really do understand some of the deeper issues that happen in the text, and that you're able to show that to us, and then we can share this with you know, parents and other people at showcases. So it's something we're looking forward to seeing. It's your first big paper in English class, and let's try our best to make sure we do everything we can to show that you guys understood what the main idea, some of the big themes are in Of Mice and Men, why John Steinbeck wrote that, and how this book is still relevant and important to our world today, almost 80 to 90 years after it was written. Okay? I'm excited to read your guys' responses and see how you do. We will, you know, see how this goes over the next 7 days. All right. Take care. Bye.